Deep in the remote landscapes of East Africa lies a lake that has fascinated scientists, photographers, and explorers for decades. At first glance, the scene appears almost peaceful. The water stretches across the horizon in shades of deep red and orange, reflecting the bright African sky. Yet along the shoreline, something unusual can sometimes be found. The bodies of birds and small animals appear preserved in lifelike positions, almost as if they had been turned into stone statues. Wings are frozen in mid-flight and feathers appear stiff and unmoving. For many people who first see these images, the explanation seems almost impossible. How could a lake turn animals into stone? Is the water poisonous? Is it some kind of strange natural curse hidden deep within the wilderness? The truth behind Lake Natron is both more scientific and more fascinating than the myths surrounding it. The lake contains one of the most chemically extreme environments found anywhere on Earth. Its water is so alkaline that it can damage skin and eyes, and the conditions around the lake are harsh enough to kill animals that wander too close to the water. But despite this dangerous reputation, Lake Natron is not simply a deadly lake. In fact, it is also one of the most important ecosystems in East Africa, providing a vital habitat for millions of birds and microorganisms that have adapted to survive in conditions that would destroy most forms of life. Understanding Lake Natron requires exploring the geology, chemistry, and unique biology of this remarkable place. Lake Natron is located in northern Tanzania, near the border with Kenya in one of the most dramatic geological regions of Africa. The lake lies within the Great Rift Valley, a massive geological feature created by the slow separation of tectonic plates beneath the African continent. The surrounding landscape is harsh and rugged. Volcanic mountains rise above the dry plains, and dark lava fields stretch across the terrain. One of the most important geological features near the lake is the volcano Oldoinyo, Lengai, sometimes called the Mountain of God by the local Maasai people. This volcano plays an important role in the unusual chemistry of Lake Natron. Unlike most volcanoes, Oldoinyo, Lengai erupts a rare type of lava rich in sodium carbonate minerals. Over time, these minerals are carried by rainwater and underground streams into the lake basin. Because Lake Natron sits in a hot and dry environment, much of the water evaporates quickly under the intense African sun. As the water disappears, the concentration of minerals left behind becomes increasingly high. This process gradually transforms the lake into one of the most alkaline bodies of water on the planet. Lake Natron is located in northern Tanzania, near the border with Kenya, in one of the most dramatic geological regions of Africa. The lake lies within the Great Rift Valley, a massive geological feature created by the slow separation of tectonic plates beneath the African continent. The surrounding landscape is harsh and rugged. Volcanic mountains rise above the dry plains, and dark lava fields stretch across the terrain. One of the most important geological features near the lake is the volcano Oldoinyo, Lengai, sometimes called the Mountain of God by the local Maasai people. This volcano plays an important role in the unusual chemistry of Lake Natron. Unlike most volcanoes, Oldoinyo, Lengai erupts a rare type of lava rich in sodium carbonate minerals. Over time, these minerals are carried by rainwater and underground streams into the lake basin. Because Lake Natron sits in a hot and dry environment, much of the water evaporates quickly under the intense African sun. As the water disappears, the concentration of minerals left behind becomes increasingly high. This process gradually transforms the lake into one of the most alkaline bodies of water on the planet. The mysterious images of animals that appear to have turned into stone brought worldwide attention to Lake Natron. Wildlife photographer Nick Brandt discovered the preserved bodies of birds and bats along the shoreline while working in the region. Fascinated by their appearance, he arranged the remains in lifelike poses and photographed them. The images created a powerful visual impression. Many people believed the animals had somehow been instantly petrified by the lake. In reality, the process is somewhat different. When animals die in or near the lake, the mineral-rich water can coat their bodies. As the water evaporates, crystals form on the surface of the remains. Over time, these mineral deposits create a hard outer layer that preserves the shape of the animal. This natural preservation process is similar to mummification in extremely dry environments. Although the lake does not literally turn animals into stone, it can still be dangerous for wildlife. Birds that become disoriented while flying over the lake sometimes land in the water and are unable to escape. The highly alkaline water can irritate their skin and eyes, making it difficult for them to fly away. Small animals that drink from the lake may also be harmed by the chemical composition of the water. However, it is important to understand that Lake Natron is not constantly filled with dead animals. The preserved remains seen in photographs are relatively rare and accumulate over long periods of time. Despite its harsh conditions, Lake Natron supports a remarkable ecosystem. The lake is one of the most important breeding sites in the world for lesser flamingos. Millions of flamingos gather here each year to nest and raise their young. These birds have evolved special adaptations that allow them to survive. In the alkaline environment, their skin and feathers provide protection from the chemical water, and their specialized beaks allow them to feed on microscopic algae that grow in the lake. These algae thrive in the mineral-rich environment and give the water its distinctive reddish color. The microorganisms living in Lake Natron are known as extremophiles. These organisms are capable of surviving in conditions that would destroy most other life forms. Scientists study extremophiles because they provide important clues about the limits of life on Earth. Understanding how these organisms survive may help researchers learn how life could exist in extreme environments elsewhere in the universe. Some scientists believe similar microorganisms might exist on icy moons, such as Europa or Enceladus, where harsh chemical environments may resemble conditions found in extreme lakes on Earth. The Great Rift Valley surrounding Lake Natron is one of the most geologically active regions on Earth. Tectonic plates beneath Africa are slowly pulling apart, creating deep valleys and volcanic activity. Over millions of years, these geological forces have shaped the landscape of East Africa. Volcanoes, hot springs, and mineral-rich lakes are all part of this dynamic system. Lake Natron is one of the most dramatic examples of how geology can shape a unique ecosystem. Because of its importance as a flamingo breeding ground, Lake Natron is now recognized as an important ecological site. Conservation organizations work with local communities to protect the fragile environment. The surrounding wetlands provide essential habitat for birds and other wildlife. Protecting the lake ensures that this remarkable ecosystem will continue to support millions of animals in the future. Lake Natron remains one of the most unusual lakes on Earth. Its strange chemistry, dramatic colors, and mysterious preserved animals continue to capture the imagination of people around the world. At first glance, the lake appears almost supernatural. But the real story behind Lake Natron reveals the complex interaction between geology, chemistry, and biology. It is a reminder that some of the most extraordinary phenomena on our planet are not the result of magic or myth, but of natural processes that scientists are still working to understand. And in remote landscapes like this one, nature continues to surprise us with environments unlike anything we expect to find on Earth.